Well, Stephanie brought up a very good point about having two new people or two new faces in the room. She said that right off the bat, that this, I think the reason it went so well is it because it wasn't myself or John or myself or Stephanie or Mr. Riddell teaching them. It was two younger people, and they were very engaged with the kids,
Yeah.
and they worked really well, and they circulated really well, and very well prepared. But the kids themselves were right into it. They thought it was a lot. They had a lot of fun with it. They were very engaged. They were answering questions. They were taking risks. So the girls did a really, really good job with the kids for sure.
So I found that through the whole process of meeting with them, even when their teachers kind of got on, it gave me, I think, a different perspective. Like, whereas it's kind of like traditionally we would put up something and then take it up, put up something and then take it up. And then she says, okay, well, don't take it up. Have them do this and then build upon this skill. And then afterwards have them articulate the whole process. And I was like, okay, I never thought of it that way. Or she's saying reverse it. You know, throw up a code and have them, work backwards and say, what had happened, or find the error, troubleshooting, like even giving them something, saying, because that's what how we started off. There was 3 codes given and put up on the board. And before they even got to log in, they were saying, okay, which one of these, what does each of these make? And then before we took it up, they would say, okay, what's another way that you could have done and got the same results? So it was like a different, like, instead of giving them the right answer and always we had them discover that's the right answer because we found a different way of doing it, right? So that, to me, I thought it made me kind of look at a bit more about math, and teaching it that way, not always jumping in and kind of giving the correction type thing, letting them work backwards. So I thought it was very valuable working with them, as well as the support that we got from their teachers was great.
So that was key for me, who's someone who is not a coder, and I know how to use Scratch and it's easy enough, and the microbit, like I had some training on that in the summer, so I was confident with that. But for someone who's not a coder, I wouldn't have called myself that, and I didn't know anything about Python, the students were great from Brock, because I was able to tell them, here's our previous experience and how can we take it to the next level. And I knew that I had like quite of them, like 20 out of 30, I would say. They're very excited about coding, so they recommended the Python program. So I thought their knowledge was really key to help me enhance the learning, because I didn't have that knowledge, so I relied on them for the coding to have that knowledge. So they helped me figure out what Python was, because I had no idea what Python was. And then what I thought was great about the Brock pre-service is that they could anticipate some of the problems that the kids would have, because they had their own problems. So when they were working through it, so they gave a specific in detailed lesson about all of the syntax that they would need. And then actually what they did is they pre-coded a lot of the problems. The kids were working on like creating their own problems involving algebraic expression, but coding the program to do that. So they had to work out the math first, and then they had to code the program to make these questions. And because it was so involved, they had some syntax already pre-coded, which helped them out, that was a great teaching tip for me. Like I wouldn't have known to do that, or even known how to do that, and they taught me how to do that. So I thought I could never have gotten this far in coding without them, because I didn't have that knowledge, right? And I think that was really great, and really valuable for me. And then the other thing that they brought was like their enthusiasm, and I just thought, like, women in coding was really important for my girls to see, like, hey, these are 2 women in this largely male dominated field, and they're studying it and they're doing well. And I think it opened up some eyes for them, that especially the girls, that you can do this, like women in science, women in math, like I see it with the social emotional learning, it affects a lot of girls differently, their ability to not give up, right? Or their willingness to solve through problems, or even the way they talk to themselves. Like some of the girls, oh, I'm just not good in math. I hear that more from the girls than the guys, just in this, my classroom dynamics to begin with. So I think that was really positive that there was 2 women and that they were close to their age, that they were, you know, not close to their age, but they're a lot younger than me. And they were like these hip, cool, like, you know, older teens that weren't quite teens, but to them, it made them relatable. So I thought so many good things came out of that.